Welcome students. Today we are going to have unit 2 algae, that is module number 23, classification of algae. And broad outline of the module is, initially we will have a brief introduction about the classification, then we will have classification of algae, what are the different divisions under this algae, and some of the major characteristics and some few examples for each division we will learn today. At the end of this module, you will be able to name the different divisions of algae. You will be able to cite example for different divisions, list the characteristic of different division, and also you will be able to explain the different divisions of algae. Algae is a huge group. You have already known, that is, now you have already learnt about the thallus organization, diversity, distribution, all that. It is a huge group with more than 40,000 species, and they will have various types of thallus organization from unicellular to multicellular. Also they have different types of pigments, reserve food material, and also you will find variation in flagellation. All this diversity has made classification of algae a bigger challenge for the botanists, and several botanists have tried to classify algae. You find there are more than 10 different types of classification available for algae, and among them 3 of them are quite popular. They are the classification by Pasteur, classification by Frist, and also classification by Smith. So Pasteur gave about 8 division, algae he divided into 8 division, whereas Smith followed similar way, but what he did, Smith, he merged chlorophyta and charophyta into one group, that is chlorophyta, okay. Whereas Frist gave about 11 divisions, or he said it is classes rather than divisions. And the modern algologists, they have classified all the algae, that is based upon the previous knowledge and whatever current knowledge they have got, they have divided them into 11 divisions. These are the 11 divisions, and we are going to learn about each one of them in brief. But before that, all these classifications, including the modern classification, they have followed certain characteristics of algae as the key character to classify the algae into different divisions. These are the main characteristics, that is pigment constitution of the cell, nature of the stored food material, nature of flagella on the motile cells, as well as presence or absence of well organized nucleus. So these are the major characters they have utilized for classification of algae into different divisions. Now we will go through one by one in brief. First division is cyanophyta. It is also called blue-green algae or cyanobacteria. So these are the major character, that is the pigments. Major pigments are phycocyanin and chlorophyll A. The stored food material is cyanophycean starch, and there are no flagella in this group, no well organized nucleus, because these are the protista, these are the prokaryotes. Here these are the only prokaryotic photosynthetic organisms able to produce oxygen, okay. So best example for this group is nostoc and spirulina. There are many more, okay, you can have anabena and there are many more, but best example are nostoc and spirulina. The second division is chlorophyta. They are also called green algae, and the major pigments are chlorophyll A, B, then beta carotene, xanthophylls. Starch and oil is the major reserve food. The flagella may be 2 or it may be 4 in each, that is living organism, whichever have the flagella, you will find number of flagella will be 2 to 4. Well organized nucleus, and best examples are Spirogyra and Ulva. Division 3, that is charophyta. These charophyta members are commonly called stoneworts because they are little bit hard to touch, okay, you feel little bit brittle because they will have some kind of calcium substance in the plant body, and the major pigments are chlorophyll A and B. Starch is the major reserve food, and the gametes are flagellated in this group. As they are eukaryotes, they have well organized nucleus, and best examples are Chara and Nitella are the best example for this group. Then fourth division is Euglenophyta. These are commonly called euglenoids, and the major pigment here is chlorophyll A, B and carotenoids. It has a special type of starch or the carbohydrate that is called paramylon, and they also have fat, which are energy rich compounds. They have 1 or 2 flagella, well organized nucleus. Best example you can have is Euglena for this division. The next division is Phyrophyta, very interesting unicellular organisms. Chlorophyll A and C is the major pigment. You will find in addition to this there will be pyridinin and carotenoids. Starch and fat are the major reserve food. They are all biflagellate, and best example you can give is Serraceum. This is the one, and there are many information about this. They have unique kind of nucleus, and also they will have more non-histone proteins with the DNA is covered with non-histone proteins. Okay. And they are also known for very interesting phenomena, that is bioluminescence. Best example for this bioluminescence is Noctiluca. So, I am giving at the end a link, please go through that link, very interesting article about this blue tide. Okay. Sixth division is Xanthophyta, which are commonly called yellow green algae. The major pigments are xanthophylls and chlorophyll A and C, and oil and leucosin are the major reserve food in this. And the sex cells are biflagellate. Even though the organism may not be flagellate, it is a polysiphonous body, for example Eukarya, but sex cells will have 2 flagella. Seventh division is Bacillariophyta, very commonly or very well known group. They are called diatoms, and chlorophyll A, C and fucoxanthin is the major pigment. Then you will find stored food material is oleutin, leucosin and lipids. Flagella are very rarely present, or if at all they are present only in the male gametes during the reproductive stage, and best example are Navicula and Cyclotella. Division 8 Chrysophyta, they are called golden algae. Few members are included under this group. The major reserve food is leucosin and oil. They may have 1 flagella, 2 flagella or they may have 3 flagella. These are also eukaryotes, and best example for this is Dinobrion. Next division is Cryptophyta. They are commonly called cryptomonads. These are the unicellular organisms with chlorophyll A, C and phycobilins they have. Starch is the major food reserve, and you will find biflagellate. They will have 2 flagella, one will be larger and unequal flagella will be there. And best example for this group is Rhodomonas and Cryptomonas are the 2 examples. Then Phaeophyta, this is the next division. They are called brown algae. So, best example for this group is Sargassum, and like that you will find huge algae like Macrocystis, all that in this group. The major pigment here is the fucoxanthin, which gives them brown color. Then the reserve food is alcohol and polysaccharides. Sex cells are 2 flagellate in this group. Then we have the last division is Rhodophyta. They are called red algae. The major pigment here is R-phycoerythrin and R-phycocyanin. R stands for Rhodophyta, or you may consider for red algae. Floridian starch is very special starch, which is the reserve food material here, and none of these organisms have flagella. Whether it is reproductive structure or vegetative structure, they do not have flagella in this group. And an excellent example for this group is Polysiphonia, which you are going to study in the near future, that is in the next module. Some of the modules you are going to have this Polysiphonia in detail. Okay. So, this is about the classification of algae, that is there are total 11 division, and you have learnt different characteristics of these algae, and these are the references. Students, please go through these two links at the bottom, that is dinoflagellates, a very interesting article about the dinoflagellates, and there is another one that is about diatoms, nature's nanotechnologies, excellent ornamentation, microscopic ornamentation you will find in these diatoms. So, please go through this link also whenever you get time and read. Thank you.